So I'm here with Stuart from ESC Fan TV, talking about Poland.
Fire of Love.
There you go, Fire of Love by Tulia. So what do you think of Fire of Love, Stuart?
It's like they've taken the Kaiser Chiefs, they've dressed them all in traditional Polish attire, and they've asked them to sing a sort of a screechy type tune of some kind. I don't get it. Lots of people do. I quite like it, weirdly, but I just don't get it. So I like it, but I don't get it. You know, all wrapped into one. But don't write this off. I see this as a qualifier for Poland. Some will love it, some will really, really hate it. But I think there'll be enough people that love it and want to see them do really well. And don't forget, Poland generally do quite well with the televote.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you a similar question you asked me on your video, but I think it was Tom who asked it actually. But do you see this as another We Are the Slavic Girls?
No, nothing like it. Nothing like it. They're a bit more serious. We might see it like that because we've become conditioned to to see Poland in that way, and we're looking for the next Slavic Girls. But no, this is nothing like it. You don't expect that. You won't get it.
Yeah. What do you think of them sing together? You said you think it's a screechy tone.
Yeah.
Do you think people will receive that well?
So I think they will. I mean, it's just my personal opinion. It's just not my style, my type of music. But you know what? I've heard them do a number of covers, including Depeche Mode's "Enjoy the Silence," and I really loved that. I thought it was excellent. So I mean, I'm expecting them to do really well because they're just, the four of them have got some kind of aura about them, and you will either love the song or hate it, but you will definitely love them, and that might just put them through. It's not going to win Eurovision. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to win Eurovision, but I think it will qualify.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting take. Okay. Thanks very much, Stuart. I am here and joined with my friend Lam. Hi, Lam.
Hello.
So Lam is going to be reacting to Poland, and it's by Tulia, Fire of Love. So check out Tulia, Fire of Love.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, man, interesting. But what's up with the firefighters and what's wrong with the bad fighting? You know, on fire at the end. I have no clue.
You don't know what fire they were fighting?
Nope.
So you don't get the music video, black and white, and they were just standing there singing. Any thoughts about that?
I think it looks a little bit creepy. You know, the white tone and the way the girls makeup, but I mean the scenes of, you know, the girls singing for old people, you know, it's quite warm. You know, I love that scenes. You know, entertaining old people. They look like not too happy at the beginning, you know, the old people, but towards the end, you know, they enjoy the performance and stand up and cheer up the girls. But man, I don't know how the old people, they can enjoy, you know, this stuff of music. Man, this could be like for like me more than for older people. But yeah, I mean, I think that's nice. It's very unique. You know, it's different to, you know, the songs I've been listening to in Eurovision this year. It's very unique.
So what do you actually think of the song? What kind of style would you put this song in?
I have no idea. Is that Polish?
Yeah, I guess Polish. Do you see this as pop, R&B, rock? What kind of thing would you lean more to?
I couldn't, you know, categorize this song. I think it's a bit funky, but, you know, it sounds a bit, you know, European. Not that sure. I mean, a bit like K-pop, you know.
It's interesting. So 4 girls singing all together the same What
Okay.
do you think of that? Because that was the first time we've heard that this year.
So the competitors are the four of the girls, all of them.
Yeah, all the girls, and yeah, in studio version anyway, they were all singing like together. They weren't singing in harmony or anything.
Yeah.
You liked that sound?
Yeah, that could be good. Synergy. Strength in numbers. Yeah, and I don't know how they're gonna collaborate on the stage, because in the video you always see them they're not looking at each other. So maybe when they actually collaborate I think they will do well.
Could you see live this would be a fun song?
It depends on the way it performs.
So you think it could either be really serious or really joyful, or
Yeah, this one is too serious.
yeah,
Yes.
the way it was presented in the music video.
Yeah, and if they bring the firefighters on the stage, man, I don't think it's gonna work. Man, it confused me.
I don't know. Maybe the firefighters are fighting for their country, and the old people fought for their country. Maybe that's the connection.
That's way too far.
That we've gone too deep.
Yeah, man, way too deep. The director said, man, I don't think that much, man.
He's like, no, I was just high.
Yeah, yeah. I was on weed.
Oh, yeah. So, cool. So overall, I guess, what's your preference on this song? Liked it? Unsure?
Yeah, I liked it. It makes me, curious. But what's behind? What does it actually mean? Because they were singing they didn't sing in English, so couldn't understand what they mean.
Okay, cool. Well, as always, I'm sure some great fans will comment below to give us the detailed meaning of this song. All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Lam. Thanks. I'm joined with Elysse Turner. Hi, Elysse. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. You beat me to it. I love it.
Well, now I know how you are. So that's
you understand where it's coming from.
So we're here talking about Poland, and yeah, let's talk about Tulia.
Female singers, multiple female singers. I am digging that. That's pretty cool. Multi-female fronted band, and it's just all female. It's girl power to the front. Let's go. So that was pretty cool. Females for our vocalists. We have 2 languages, Polish and English, and we have a 1 octave range of C#4 to C#5. So not too big, quite achievable. Now, our key was a bit odd. I couldn't settle on one which I thought was definitive, because we had some weird chords and we had some weird notes being played in it. So I'm going to present you with 3 options. The most likely option is C# minor, because that is a standard key. But then we have a couple of accidentals or weird chords, I guess. Most notably the D chord, but we will get into that in a minute. The alternatives, though, are a Japanese scale called the D Ichikosucho scale. And so that was this. I can play it for you. Actually, I should play you the C minor scale first. I'm so sorry.
Did you already know that scale, the Japanese one?
I Googled them. Okay. Because I was struggling with this one. I'm like, it's not quite there. So C# minor, just for clarification, is... C# minor, or close enough. You get the whip, the gist of it, right? So that's our C# minor. Now the Japanese D Ichikosucho scale is this. And what's weird about that is that you've got sort of 3 semitones following each other, which is this. And And that's unusual in a scale. It's not really present in Western scales, which is kind of what threw me because our melody sits on those 3 notes a lot. The other alternative was a D sharp 8-tone Spanish scale. So instead of our usual 7 notes we have in a scale, it was 8 tones. And that would be, I should have written these down. Like, pretty sure that's it. Don't hate on me. So like there's a couple of different options, and the reason is because the melody line has that weird sort of it's just sitting on unusual notes, and then you've got a couple of weird chords in there. So we'll come back to the chords in a minute. We're on a 4/4 time signature. We're in moderato, which is 96 beats per minute, and we have 5 chords. So our chords are chord 1, and we're going to assume we're in C sharp minor for the sake of these chords, because C sharp minor is probably the easiest way to understand it in terms of Western musical theory. So chord 1 is a C sharp minor. Sorry, I'll go up an octave. We have chord 2, which would be a D. Sorry, I should have written them down in advance. Yeah, okay. So chord 2 is the unusual one. That's why I'm like, what am I looking at? That's why it's unusual. Chord 2 is our unusual chord. It is not in our C sharp chord set usually, but it's a D major. So that's not something you'd usually find in a C minor song because it's a major chord for the second one. We have chord 3, which is a major chord, which would be an E major. We have chord 4, which is F sharp minor. And we have chord 7, which is B major. So those are our chords. Sorry if that's a bit confusing. But yeah, so you have 5 chords with an unusual one thrown in the mix, just to, you know, throw you off, I guess, but also to sort of suit that odd melody line that we've got, which is going between these 3 semitones. Yeah, that was a very long-winded way of saying things. I thought I was going to be so much more succinct.
It's very interesting, though.
I'm glad you found it interesting. I do hope your viewers do too. All right, so our instruments. We have our vocals, which are multi-vocaled because all 4 of them are singing pretty much in unison the entire time, and it's not just one singer. You can hear the different tones in voice, which is a bit like a doubling effect, except you've got different sounds because everyone has a different accent in the way they sing, the way they talk, and so when people talk at the same time, even though they're saying the exact same thing or singing the exact same thing at the exact same time on the exact same note, it sounds slightly different. So that's got a really cool dynamic to it, having these 4 female singers at the same time doing the same thing but it still sounds different, and so that's cool. We have our bass guitar. I think the bass guitar was the hero at the start of this piece. It was a pretty rad sort of line that they were doing. Then we have our drum kit and a tambourine, an electric guitar with pedals to give it that sort of grungy effect, so sound effect sort of vibe. And we have a bagpipe sounding instrument. So it could either be a bagpipe or it could be a traditional instrument from Poland called a koza. But it definitely sounds like a bagpipe sort of sound. So we're going with that for general sake. And then we have some strings, which is potentially a synth or another traditional instrument called a suka. The reason why I've talked about so many traditional instruments in this song is because in the video they seem to be wearing traditional dress. And so the connection I've made seems to be that they seem to be valuing their traditions from Poland, and the chances, therefore, of using traditional instruments are a little higher. So I can't confirm those are the instruments they are using, but there is potential there for those instruments to be the ones they are using, I guess. So yeah. And then our song structure, we have an intro for 4 bars. We have verse 1 at 8 bars, a chorus at 9 bars. And that's just to sort of bring you back into the verse again. It's just 1 bar of a bit of a breather bar. Verse 2 is 8 bars, chorus for 9 bars, verse 3 for 8, chorus for 8, and then a chorus at the end for 9. So you've got a double chorus at the end with 1 bar breather right at the end to fade out the song. So very simplistic song structure. There's no bridge. It's intro, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus. But I really enjoyed this song. I think this is one of the few where I've heard it and on first listen I've been like, yes, that's a good song. And I just love how the bass line in the verses sort of mirrors the start of the melody in the chorus. And it ties it together really, really well. Very clever as well. And it's kind of got this pop rocky vibe. In terms of bands that I could relate it to that I listened to in Australia, there's a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So if you want to play a song, bitch, Rattlesnake would be a good one to play. Because it's got that slightly out of tune sort of sound, but it's not out of tune. It's just a little left of what you're usually like, left of field, different to what you usually hear, but it still works. And so, yeah, it was a really enjoyable song for me.
Oh, interesting. And so you liked that overall they stuck together singing the melody? You like?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Sometimes I guess there's place for different solo parts for each member, but at the same time, in 3 minutes, there's not much room for that. Like, I guess you could sort of break up the verses and do one each, but it had a really cool effect at having all 4 vocals together. I just think it worked really well, and it also brings across much more of a unified front for their group. Rather than having a girl band where each one's got a personality, their identity is the 4 together. And I thought that worked really nicely.
Yeah. I feel like this has like a kind of very faint punk tone to their voice in a way. I don't know why I'm getting that.
Yeah, no, like I could get that. It's like a little rocky, a little punky. I don't know. It was kind of cool, and like the instruments probably lend themselves to that too. You've got the bass guitar and you've got the electric guitar and the drums, so it's a very like good setup for that as well. And I'm pretty sure the electric guitar had pedals to make it a bit more like grungy as well. So yeah, I can sort of see that.
There's a song that actually they have I don't know if you know that there's a junior Eurovision as well at the end of the year. Under 16 years old, and the country that won last year was Poland. And I think that the song here doesn't sound the same, but it has a similar style to the girl who sang the song. So
copying the similar song aesthetics.
Yeah, I feel like so.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
there ain't nothing wrong with a winning formula.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They have a winning formula. And so, yeah, I heard, again, like I said with Azerbaijan, I heard kind of cultural elements. Did you hear that in the song?
I think, like, this is Poland, right? Yeah. With the instruments, possibly in the choice to sort of stick in those 3 semitones. Like, I'm not super knowledgeable on my Polish music, so I can't like talk definitively about scales and stuff like that. But I think the instrumentation seemed to have like those sort of sounds, and yeah, like I think it was a really interesting like way to do it. It definitely didn't sound Western, just because of like it wasn't sticking to a traditional Western scale. So it did have that distinct identification in the sense of it wasn't a classic Western pop song, I guess.
What were your points from the music video?
All right, so I guess they started with the fire brigade because like it's called Fire of Love, and you got to have the fire brigade on hand. Yeah, I thought the singers were really pretty. They look like pin-up girls, like not like derogatory ones, but like, you know, the like 80s pin-up girls with the curls in her hair, except like a Polish version of that with the like flower crown. And the flower crowns almost give it like a Mother Mary vibe, you know, those posters of Mother Mary. Yeah, so possibly that sort of vibe. But yeah, they were just super pretty. And I would like to look like that, please. The crowd didn't seem to be having any of it, though. We ain't going to be distracted by your beauty. We're not happy. We're not going to laugh. We're not going to smile. We're just going to stare at you. But perhaps, you know, the crowd is also like a symbol of what the lyrics are saying, because they're starting out with this ice cold heart that's slowly melting until flames consume. So like it's either a really simple song about like transforming there's a transforming heart when you're falling in love, or it's like a comment on how we need love to survive. And by the end of it, the crowd is loving it. Like this one person sort of gets up and does a slow clap. Like obviously you don't hear it, but you can tell they're starting a slow clap, and everyone sort of joins in. So it's like a big moment. Yeah, I think this was our first black and white video as well, but like it didn't seem too complex. I don't know if that's the story they were going for, or if there's something I'm missing. Yeah.
Did you do any translation this time?
I did. I have some favorite lines I'd like to read, Mitch. Are you ready? I'm going to read poetry.
Ooh.
Translated poetry.
Elysse in the spoken word.
An excited heart that does not feel anything is indifferent to the world. I thought that was a really cool line. But like, I guess their heart isn't indifferent because they have a fire of love in their heart. And then the other line that I think really stood out, which is at the end, and I've shortened it for the sake of poetry. Fire of love burns in you, burns in me, burns us alive. Love me now, harder and harder. Take me there. Be the air I need to survive.
Oh, wow.
I just thought that was I thought they were really powerful lyrics, and I wish I'd thought of them for my own songs. Not gonna lie.
It's very metaphorical.
It is, and I quite liked that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and final comment on the video, I did forget to write it down, but I did quite like how they had the fire sound at the end, crackling away after the, like, I wasn't too happy about the sirens in my ears, but, you know, the fire sound was great.
So do you think, after translating those lyrics, I'm thinking, is this song about a person, loving a person, or is it loving, like it could, I'm thinking maybe it could even be about loving Poland in a way, you know, or loving a place.
Ooh. I didn't really think about it in the context of loving Poland, the place. Like, I thought if you want to go for a big general overarching theme, it's like, we just need love to survive. And if we don't, then we are that person who is apathetic, indifferent to the world, as the lyrics stated. But at the same time, it could also be a really simple song. So I don't know, it could go either way for the message. It could be just another love song, or it could be, you know, a comment on let's move past our differences in love, which is like the complete opposite of Iceland. So then again, fire melts ice. Conspiracy? I think not.
I'm going to end up having, like, at the end, a segue of you saying conspiracy. I think not.
Yeah, you said you wanted to make like a mega video of all my reviews. Yeah. Maybe you should just make a video of all my conspiracies.
That's going to be like your montage, but yeah.
Then if you ever have me on again, Elysse, my resident conspiracy theorist. Anyway, that wasn't what I had written down. I only just thought of that. But
your conspiracies are on a whim. It's a thing.
I'm just on fire because I'm in love with my conspiracies.
And you need it as air to survive.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. All right. Thanks a lot for that, Elysse. And thanks to everyone for doing their little part in reviewing Poland. So check more out by subscribing and seeing all that kind of thing.
Yes. Click that bell button. Get those notifications. What are you doing?
I don't think they do bell buttons anymore because people are getting annoyed because they weren't.
Well, I get notifications when I don't click the bell button, so yeah. I don't actually know how it works.
Yeah, no, I think people were getting annoyed because they would only give out like 2 notifications a day, and so they'd pick two people that you're subscribed to, so they don't do that anymore.
Rude.
Yeah.
Rude. Don't click the bell button. It's a scam.
If you like...
The subscribe button's legit. Just click the subscribe, check the page, ignore all bells.
And if you like this video, click the thumbs up. And if you didn't like this video, click the thumbs down button twice, and that'll do it. So until next time, bonsoir Europe, and goodbye.
Who will make the cut?